I like trains. Choo choo. Choo choo. Okay, I'm sorry. That was painful. Today we're going to be talking about the today we're going to be talking about the pain train, which is I don't know how I feel about this because I don't know how everybody else feels about this. I feel like it's really underrated. I don't hear about it a lot, but in my experience, it's one of the strongest weapons in the entire game, and I love it a lot. So we're going to make this video nice and short. For the perks, it's actually pretty conventional. I do believe there are multiple 6 perks. I'm not sure on that. This is one of the few weapons in the entire game that gives you the perk that buffs your damage. Which is pretty good. That perk alone, when firing at full speed with fire rate, I did the math once, was like a 17% damage buff, which is fairly significant once you get going. I think you can get the crit rating one on this. I don't know. Don't quote me. Whatever. Point is, this is a good 6 perk, and I think the other one is just as good. I'm going to talk about this in a second, but it's a pretty conventional crit build on this because it's a hard-hitting weapon. I mean, you want to go crit on this. This is the same weapon as always, where like fire rate and damage is going to do as much as crit rate and crit damage, but your damage per bullet and therefore your overall damage per magazine is a lot higher with a crit build, so I'd definitely recommend that. And then fire rate is obviously because this is a train, and the faster that it shoots, the more it actually sounds like a train. Because if you don't have fire rate, it's not really gonna be a pain train anymore. It's just gonna be painful, and you know, it's just not the way you want to go. It also buffs the damage a lot more than crit damage, which is kind of secondary to the idea of really encapsulating the idea that we're shooting a train, you guys. I mean, look at this thing. That's why I made it water. You get that extra frost on the tip of that barrel, and it just completes the look. Like, without it, it's either on fire or you have an electrical malfunction. And if it's energy, then your pain train's from another universe, and you should probably just get rid of it. So water is by far the best way to go for a weapon like this because, I mean, look at it. There's already snow on it before you even put the perk on. The devs have clearly shown you the way to go here. And then for mag size, I mean, you got to keep the train rolling, you guys. And reload is nice, but you know, you could be taking plenty of pit stops down the way to make them shorter. Isn't too big of a deal. They've already got a pretty short stop time of 2.1 seconds, which is okay. So reload can be nice, but I think mag size is definitely good, especially considering your 6 perk encourages you to keep on firing. And if you guys have seen any of my videos before, mag size is my preference, but of course you can do reload if you want. Hell, this is one of the few weapons where you could do away with mag size or reload altogether and just put another damage perk on it. I have found that triple damage is about 9% worse than crit rating crit damage, so as tempting as that might be, I don't exactly recommend it. And fire rate double damage is not better than crit rating crit damage. So if you didn't realize that was all technically accurate information, working in as many working in as many train puns as I can. Realistically, the math has been done by me and Cthulhu a little bit on stream, and every time I've worked it out, fire rate came out to be about 20% more to overall damage than crit rating and crit damage, or rather than 2 crit damage perks, because a crit damage perk with a 38% chance to crit does about a 51% damage buff, but the fire rate buffs all of your damage, including the crits. So it works out to be, I think it was like a 70% damage improvement. It is better to go. It is the better way to go. However, with the point made earlier on the video, fire rate damage is more or less the same DPS by about a 0.02% difference. I know, massive gains, but it's less overall damage per bullet. So I prefer fire rate because it shoots faster, it keeps it going. You know, it sounds more like a train. But if you want to do a second crit damage on here, I'm totally for that. I totally get it, and that's completely your decision. So the thing I try to do with these videos is to give you all of the different options and why I chose what I chose, but crit rating double crit damage is definitely a good way to go for this. You could also, of course, put the damage perk on this and make this one of the most powerful weapons in the game, because even though I've got mag size on it, you don't really need it. It's got 30 bullets by default, which is perfectly fine. So there are a lot of options with the pain train, and I love that about this weapon. I think it's one of the few where you can go quad damage even, which is not recommended, but you can do it. So it's a very, very versatile weapon. It's kind of like the AK-47 of Fortnite Save the World. Like, you got a lot of options, and you can't really go wrong. It's going to take a lot to derail this train. Hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching. And if all of that was really confusing, then you should probably just click away as fast as you can onto one of these videos down here. Or, oh no, you clicked the Patreon link and you became a patron. That's alright. Your name will be on the end screen at some point. If you have any questions, just comment below. Thank you for watching.